All right. How about now, guys? Sorry. No sound, no sound. All right, all right. Let's check out the technical difficulty here. Yeah. Okay. we're both touching the button.
Okay, how about now?
Thanks everyone. Thank you, Akira, Arlen, Lakeisha, Tamra. Great to see all of you guys. Fantastic.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks,
And so
Lakeisha. So
obviously everyone's all good on TikTok because that's
okay. Let me start over, and I apologize to those of you who know all this already, but we had no sound apparently for the first 3 minutes. So my name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza, and we are the
hello
immigration
again.
law firm Gardner and Mendoza. And almost every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock, we come here to give you immigration law updates, inspirational immigration stories, and most importantly, to answer your questions. So if you have a question, please put it, post it up, and we will get to it and try to answer it. It is not legal advice. What we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. These are hypothetical fact patterns, and we will answer them based on that. Okay.
All
It's
right.
not legal advice because there may be details we don't know, facts we don't know, and most importantly, you're not our clients.
Right. So I want to start off with a very common question that we get in our comments, we get on TikTok. And the question is, Attorney Mendoza, I just got married 6 months ago, or just got married. And I want to know, I'm a green card holder, I'm a lawful permanent resident, and I want to know if I can petition for my spouse, or do I have to wait until I become a US citizen? So in my mind, the answer is very easy, it's very clear. But of course, I'm an immigration lawyer, right? And have been doing this for 22 years. So, I try not to, sometimes when I read the questions, I think to myself, gosh, they don't know this. Why don't they know this? They need to know this. And the answer is yes. If you are a lawful permanent resident, you can, and I don't know if you should, but you can file a petition for your spouse in order for your spouse to immigrate to the United States. And so that's a really basic, straightforward question, fact pattern. But I really, really, really want to tell you guys here and there and everywhere that yes, please do not wait the amount of time that it will take you to become a US citizen before petitioning for your spouse. Lodge the petition, get the petition filed. And here it is again. Fernando.
I was just going to get to that.
Yeah. So Fernando, can a green card holder help adjust status of their spouse? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is a pervasive thought that you have to wait to become a US citizen before you can file for your spouse, or file for your unmarried children, or file for children over the age of 21. There are all of these things that that are in the comments that, again, on a certain level, concern me a little bit, because you're wasting time if you're not filing. You're wasting time if you don't know that as a lawful permanent resident, you can file for your spouse. And how do you get the answer to these questions? Yes, you can come to our live stream. That's why we're here. Yes, you can take a look at our videos on TikTok. And I probably have made 10 videos about this. Yes, you can search the internet, but another way you can do it is you can reach out to us, have a consultation with us. We will tell you what you can and what you can't do based on the fact pattern that you give us during the consultation. And we'll give you the general rules, right? We'll tell you, yes, as a lawful permanent resident, you can file for your spouse and your unmarried child, even if your unmarried child is 35 years old. And there just are certain things that go along with filing a petition for a spouse if you're a lawful permanent resident. If there are children on that petition, how it switches over if you become a U.S. citizen, how you would then have to file a petition for your spouse and your minor children, each an I-130 for each. And so they're also very important timing considerations. And so, yeah, it's a little bit scary. I guess what I'm saying, it's a little bit scary to me when I see these things, just as it's probably scary to a doctor when you go to your doctor and like they say, rather than why didn't you come in and ask me the question? Why did you try to take care of yourself? Well, I mean, I was on WebMD and they told me to put, whatever. Or my dad told me to put Colgate toothpaste on this burn. My dad has actually done that. So I guess I'm answering this question, but I do have a little bit of concern and maybe a little bit of frustration too, because yes, the answers are out there. You can get them piecemeal. You can get them here and you can get them there and you can maybe put your whole case together. But if you want a roadmap, then please reach out to us. Okay. I think it will save you a lot of headache, a lot of worry, and you're going to lose $275 if you want to put it in monetary terms, but you're going to gain a lot of knowledge about what the next steps are for arguably the most important thing in your life, right? Bring your mom here, bring your wife here, bringing your husband here, bringing your minor child here, bringing your adult children here, bringing your family to the United States. It's the most important thing. And when I see comments everywhere, like, you're not just getting this from me on TikTok, right? You're not just getting me this from me on our immigration page. And so, okay, I'm done with the soapbox. I'm just concerned. That's all. Like, I'm just, when I see the comments, again, it's such a fundamental thing. And the question is being asked over and over and over again. And, I do what I can with TikTok to get the information out there.
So this case, your immigration case, is the most important thing that you're doing. If you are trying to come to the United States or bring a family member here, that's the most important thing that you're doing. And Radlin is right. And I wouldn't even say you lose $275. You invest. I mean, the worst thing is that you invest $275 to find out the right answers so that you know what your options are. And then whether you do want to try to do things on your own, or whether you want to just have us take care of it so that you can just head, back to work or back to the beach or whatever you do, and not have to worry about it anymore. So, and timing is a big deal in all these immigration cases. There's always time that has to accrue before the next thing happens. And so every minute that you're waiting to do something under, erroneous assumptions about the law, is just time that you're losing. Radlin is right. So absolutely. You should call us at the very least, schedule a consultation so that you can find out what you should do with your case. If we represent you, fantastic. If we don't, at least you know what you're doing and you know what the options are. All right.
Yeah.
It's the best $275 you'll ever invest. Okay.
Right. And I also believe it's an investment, but a lot of people think $275, it's too much money. And so, and it's not about the consultation with us. It's about a consultation with any immigration attorney who has the credentials and the experience to represent you and to help you. It doesn't, go get some help.
Right. You might not, you may not want to talk to us. Maybe you want to talk to somebody that's right in your own backyard. We get that. Our physical location, we're in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is on the east coast of the United States. As a matter of fact, I just noticed over Radlin's shoulder there, I can see the Chesapeake Bay out there. But out of that side window here, right?
Nice.
Right out there. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, I'm pointing right at it.
I see it.
But if you want to find somebody in your own backyard, that's fine. It doesn't matter where you are. We represent people all over the country. We represent people all over the world, because with modern technology today, you don't really need to have a lawyer that's in your neighborhood. But if you feel more comfortable with that, fair enough. But please call somebody who has good credentials, as Radlin said. A lot of people advertise immigration. There's also a lot of fraud in it. Make sure that you're talking to somebody who is actually a professional immigration attorney who specializes in immigration, doesn't do everything else. I would be very leery of somebody who does immigration and family law and estate planning and personal injury.
Dabbles in.
You want to find somebody that immigration is all they do. Okay? Seriously. Don't talk to a lawyer who does immigration and something else. They either do all immigration or find somebody else. All right. That's my soapbox.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We're done.
All right.
We're done. Let's grab this first question. Tamra. Oh, look how beautiful that picture is. Where is that?
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Nice. Okay. So here's the question. My boyfriend came to the United States on a tourist visa that expired 6 years ago. He has overstayed. He does have a valid visa until 2025. Can we marry? So implicit in this question is there's an immigration problem, right? Can you marry? Mexico. It's Mexico. Mm-hmm. Look at how gorgeous.
I know.
But what part of Mexico though?
Nice.
We want to go there. Did we see that when we went to Mexico?
Well, that depends what part it is.
Yeah, I don't think we. Anyway,
we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
She's gonna tell us. I know she's gonna tell us.
Tamara's gonna tell us because Okay, so there's an immigration situation here, right? Because the question is easy. The question that you're asking, Tamara, is can we marry? And the answer is yeah, probably you can marry. You can get married. But behind this question is what's the situation with immigration? Like what's going to happen? Boyfriend has overstayed the tourist status 6 years ago. What's going to happen if we get married? Is he going to have to go back to his country, or what's the whole situation? So Tamara, let's just assume that you are a U.S. citizen. Okay. If you're a U.S. citizen and your boyfriend entered the United States with a tourist visa, he was inspected at a port of entry, as you're saying. And if all that is true, then there is a possibility that your boyfriend is eligible for something called adjustment of status. And it's based on, being inspected and admitted to the United States and having an immediate relative petition for you. And there are other ways as well. But in this case, if you are a U.S. citizen and you get married and then your boyfriend becomes your husband, then you may be able to adjust his status to that of a lawful permanent resident of the United States. So he would be able to, if you are eligible for all that, he would be able to get his lawful permanent resident status here in the United States, a green card, and be able to stay and work and then apply for U.S. citizenship if he cared to, 2 years and 9 months down the road. So
right.
Can you marry?
Came in as a tourist. His intent at the time was to be a tourist, not to
get married to you.
Go find you and marry you.
6 years later.
So he's clear there. And then the two of you meet and fall in love, presumably, and you're wanting to get married and you want to know, to use some really basic language, you want to know, is this going to fix this problem and make this work? Is he going to be able to stay here and become a permanent resident himself? And then we go along our happy way. And I think Radlin just answered that.
Yeah. So there is that possibility. So a lot of people say, hey, should we get married? Like, I don't know. Should you? Like, are you a great couple? And asking me for permission to get married, I think people should get married whether the immigration situation works out or not. I mean, I know but that's just me. Like, if you're you found your sweetheart, you're in love with the person,
Yeah.
everything will work out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just
Yeah, and
my
the
personal.
only reason that we're coming around the edges of it a little bit is because, you know, where you get into danger is when people, as I said before, come into the country for some other reason with the intent to actually get married, but they say they're here for some other reason. And there's also an issue that arises when people get married solely for immigration purposes. They're just going to get married and there's no other reason for it except that they just want to fix the immigration situation.
Right.
And so those are, danger areas that we want to stay away from. But from the facts that you're providing on the surface, then yes, it seems like that will work.
Yes, Tamara, if you want to reach out to us and schedule a consultation, you can, well, the banner is down at the bottom. That's it is. Right. I can't miss it, right? It's 757-464-9224. And let us know if this information is helpful, Tamara. The picture was taken at Iberostar Hotels and Resorts and Playa Paraíso. Nice. Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So that is the answer to the question. Tamara, if you'd like to schedule an appointment, we would love to talk to you about this.
Yeah. A case like yours is a case that we have handled
thousands
of times. And it's, definitely thousands. All right. In 22 years of practicing immigration law.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I'm sorry, everyone, real quick. I forgot to introduce our fabulous shield back here.
Oh, the shield.
The shield.
The shield of Gardner Mendoza.
Yes. We put this shield up tonight just to show. This was brought to us, gosh, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe?
No.
Lean all the way over. See, it says it's Radlin John, attorney. A client of ours who is from Turkey had this made while he was in Turkey and brought it back to us.
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool.
And
you don't think it was 15 years ago?
It probably was like 17.
17, but okay.
Here's the thing about that shield. I don't know if you can tell, that is copper. That thing is heavy.
Very heavy.
I don't know. Don't people steal copper? People steal copper and sell copper. So this thing is probably worth.
Don't.
Okay.
We do that.
We're not going to do that.
Anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
The sun is setting on us, guys. You can probably tell.
Okay.
All right. We're just talking too much. Here, let's grab a TikTok question.
Okay, let's see here. The next question was Filipina stayed in the U.S. for a long time, getting married to a British who live in London. What's the kind of visa should the fiance be getting?
The Filipino stayed in the United States for what? Sorry.
Stayed in the U.S. for a long time and is getting married to a person, a British citizen who lives in London and wants to know what kind of visa should the fiance be getting. I guess we're going to have to read into this.
Is the British person the fiance?
I'm assuming. And the Filipina stayed in the U.S. for a long time.
So a U.S. citizen?
She has some status, either permanent resident or U.S. citizen.
Okay.
See, this is what I mean by some of these questions. We're missing some of the details, so it gets a little hard.
My foot is asleep. So if she's a U.S. citizen, then she can, and if they get married, then she is going to be filing an I-130 petition for her husband. If they get married, the fiance visa is no longer available to them. They're the K1. Okay, that's for unmarried couples, but there's potential that they could use the K3 strategically. But I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, it would be if they actually got married, then it would be the immigrant visa. She would be filing an I-130 petition for her spouse who is in London, if that's the scenario.
Okay. And real quick, Best of What I See wants to know if we do humanitarian parole. So
we have not done too much humanitarian parole. There are attorneys that specialize in humanitarian parole, but we've done a couple, but it's not something that we're doing. What was the question? If we do it, we have done it, and we do it. Yes, but if we're talking about that for Ukrainians, we have not done those cases for Ukrainians. All right, let's see here. Justine. Oh, that's so pretty too. I love these pictures. Okay. I just got married and filed a petition right away for my husband. Good, great job, but I have not changed my status yet. Would that affect the petition? Thank you. So I'm not sure what you mean by saying you have not changed your status. If you mean you haven't updated like Social Security Administration that you're married and that you haven't changed your last name, that should not be affecting the petition. Okay, hopefully that answers the question. What do we have?
Okay, let's see. Can you give any updates on DACA? Yes, I can. DACA is still in limbo right now. I talked about this, I think, 2 weeks ago. If you want to go back and look at that. As some of you may know, DACA cases were being accepted, and then a federal judge in Texas put an injunction on that, went up to the Court of Appeals. There were oral arguments a couple of weeks ago. I don't know when we'll hear anything, and whoever loses is going to probably appeal to the Supreme Court. So unfortunately, right now, DACA is still in a state of limbo where cases that had already been filed and processed and approved can be renewed, but new cases are just sort of stuck right now.
Yeah. Okay. Akiram has a question. She says, my husband is a diplomat visa holder, specifically A2. He's been in the United States since April of 2016. Can he apply for a green card permanent resident? Is it possible? So Akiram, I apologize. I do not know the rules with regard to residency for diplomats specifically. We have worked with NATO, but not A2 specifically. So I have not. This is a question of first impression for me. But be happy to help. Find out. Every case started out as a first one for
That's
me.
Right.
Sometimes there are still first cases, but great question. And I like that chair that you're sitting in.
Yeah, looks
It's
like
very legally,
right?
It's like a
It looks like
it looks like a
diplomat's
diplomat.
chair, yeah.
That the nails and stuff. That's very nice. Very classy.
And Justine said, "Thank you. That answers the question. Fantastic."
All right.
All right. So Cultured Travel wants to know, hi, what about DACA? This is a different question that was denied because we didn't respond to a request for more information that we never received. So, you know, again, right now you're kind of out of luck because if you tried to then file again, you're not going to be able to. And so I think you're going to be in a holding pattern as well.
Right. So this sounds like maybe is it a renewal though? Like if it's a renewal, then if it was denied and you didn't respond to your request for evidence, then you potentially can file again.
Right.
And also,
well, you can file again, right? Except that, you know, to what end right now? I mean, you may want to.
Unless it's a renewal, right? Like if it's a renewal,
yeah, absolutely.
They still can. Yeah. But if it's a brand new DACA that was denied. And then the other question I have is, when was that? When was it denied? Right. Do you have time to file a motion to reopen and fix the problem? So
yeah,
that's
and the big distinction there. Radlin is right. Well, if it's a renewal, then that's a really important piece of information.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. All right, let's see here. Natasha. Hi, Natasha. She says, I'm from the Philippines. Me and my fiance planning to get married. How long does it take to get a green card or a working permit? Thank you so much. So the question is, how long does it? So I will then assume that you are in the United States. So you're planning on getting married. Maybe you came in on a fiance visa and you're going to get married and file for adjustment of status. How long does it take to get the green card? It depends on the field office that handles the green card, number one, the adjustment of status application. And then with regard to work permits, they are taking a very long time right now, 9-10 months, I'm afraid to say. So it is a bit of a wait. So sometimes people say, hey, you know, I'm wondering whether I should do the fiance visa or should we just get married? And I filed the I-130 petition, the immigrant visa. One of the big downsides of the fiance visa is, well, there's several, but the one is that when your fiance comes to the United States, you have to get married, of course, within the 90 days, and you file for your green card application, which also you apply for your work permit. But you can't do anything as a fiance. You can't work. You can go to school, but you cannot work. You cannot travel outside of the country until that work permit gets approved and your advanced parole gets approved. So hopefully that helps and that falls into your fact scenario. All right. Do we have a question here?
Yeah, we just got another ones over the top just disappeared because a bunch loaded up. But hi, attorney, I petitioned my husband last 2020.
Okay.
Will it affect his petition if I file for citizenship?
2020. So the core question is, if I file for citizenship and I become a naturalized U.S. citizen, is that going to disrupt the case in any way or make it slower in any way? Generally not. Generally, it's not going to. I would have to take a look at the most recent processing times from a couple of weeks ago. Most service centers were processing U.S. citizen spousal petitions a lot faster than lawful permanent resident ones. So it generally should not, but there is a possibility that it may. But generally speaking, no, because again, permanent residents, their spouses and the unmarried children that they petitioned for, you have to also remember about the visa bulletin, right? So right now, the visa bulletin for the spouse of a lawful permanent resident and the unmarried child under 21 of a lawful permanent resident is current, which means visas are available. But by the time you get to your interview a year from now, is the visa going to be available in the F2A category for a lawful permanent resident? You can't always count on it always being current, and there's no cutoff date. You can't count on that. So in my opinion, can I say my opinion? In my opinion,
in your non-legal opinion,
in my non-legal opinion, my opinion,
your opinion as a layperson,
just looking at time, just looking at the time frames and things like that, and the possibility of F2A category getting backlogged, you should become a U.S. citizen. Now, there are, again, other factors. Do you have a minor child under that I-130 petition for your spouse? If you do, and you become a U.S. citizen, you'd have to then file a new petition for the child, because you have to file a separate petition when you're a U.S. citizen. I hope that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if that answered your question and was helpful. Isn't it bizarre how it's just getting so dark,
mm-hmm.
and the lighting in here right now is whacking me out?
Pretty bright. So here's a question. These always are kind of tricky because we don't see it too much of it. But Lisa wants to know, can I file an I-130 if I was born in American Samoa for my spouse?
So American Samoa has very specific rules, and we have handled a couple of the cases, but this is from years ago. I would have to go back and hit the books on that question.
Agreed.
And so she's asking this question because there are specific rules, and I just don't know them off the top of my head. But great question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jury says, hello, I got divorced. I am already naturalized. I changed my last name back to my maiden name. Do I need to change my name on my citizenship certificate before I apply for a new passport under my new name?
Okay, interesting.
Well, why? The question I have is I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, she's gonna get a passport. Wants to know if she has to change that
Okay.
certificate.
Yeah. So I get it now. You're divorced, but when you naturalize, you were married. So you now have a completely different name. The question is, do you have to change your name on your certificate of citizenship before I apply for a new passport? That's a good question. I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think that if you can connect the name change, then it'll be fine. How do you connect the name change from the name on the naturalization certificate to the new name on the passport? You connect the name with the divorce decree.
I was just going to say a certified copy of the divorce decree would be a good starting point.
Yeah. So I would definitely try first with the passport. I would really strongly believe that you don't have to get a new certificate of naturalization. Hopefully you don't, because they are very expensive and take a really long time. Great question though. Can you grab one?
How long does it take for an N600 to be processed?
N600 depends on the field office that's processing it, but they can take quite a long time. When I say quite a long time, I mean, more than 8 months, 8 to 12 months. All right.
All right. And there was a K1 update, please. Maybe be a little more specific.
K1 update is, the last I checked, the processing time, and this was 2 weeks ago, the processing time was at 13 months. So that's the update. 13 months to file the petition, and then it takes 13 months to get approved and then get scheduled for an interview. So getting scheduled for an interview is another wait time, another waiting period. So it's not a great update.
Yeah. Well, it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. That's right. You have it lodged. That's awesome. Okay. So Kimmy says, hello, how many months is the processing of the working permit?
That's pretty too. I wonder where that is. That looks like
yes. Where are you, Kimmy? Where is that photo taken? Again, I mentioned that it is taking over 10 plus months.
Some are cold. That's a sweater and a hat.
It's pretty though. Very nice. All right. Hey, Randall, what's going on? Randall says a permanent resident cannot get on the cruise ship. Why not? I mean, if you're going to a country that requires a visa and then you didn't have the visa because you are a citizen of a place that they don't recognize and you need a visa. Well, not recognize, but like you must have a visa. But I haven't heard that. Randall, call me. It's great to see you. Thank you for coming on to the Facebook Live. See, these are questions. You can call me.
Giving us some cruise ship insight.
You can call me and talk to me about this. But it's really great to see you. I love the picture of you and your wife. Is that a rose?
Yes, it is.
Oh, how sweet. Okay. I didn't know that, but it doesn't seem right to me. But that doesn't mean anything. Okay.
All right. So Margot wants to know, which is better, to file a petition while my dad is visiting us here in the United States, or file a petition in the Philippines?
If you call me and make a consultation with me, who asked this question?
Margot 0902.
Margot 0902. Listen, guys, if you are just joining us, our consultation fee, if you want to do a deep dive into these questions, it's $275. Okay. And in my humble opinion, well worth it. And I will answer your question on that call. But
I mean, it's again, as I said too, if you have any kind of immigration issue that you're concerned about or you're pursuing, $275 is the best investment that you will ever make to make sure that you are getting off on the right track, excuse me. And, if you also, as I said, if you want to deal with somebody that's in your own backyard, in the city where you live, or state, whatever.
Well, that's just too bad. You won't be hanging out with us.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But even there, I would really be careful. Lawyers that don't charge an consultation fee, immigration lawyers who don't, that would be a red flag for me. There's a lot of information and a lot of law that has to be analyzed and applied. And so, I mean, that's why there's a consultation fee. So immigration lawyers who know what they're doing are absolutely going to charge a consultation fee. So
okay, well, hold on. Let's back up a little bit.
They don't have to.
Respect that. I totally respect that. But there was a period of time where, we did not charge a consultation fee, and you know what happened? We had too many clients, and we were spending way too much time on the phone and not working on the cases on our desks. And so it became a problem, and we fixed it. But it took us years. It took us years to realize, like, hey, look, there are a bunch of tire kickers that are unfortunately wasting our time. Anyway, but I'm not going to get into that. We already did, but that's the problem. Like, if you go to, in my opinion, if you go to a law firm, and I'm speaking from experience, if you came to our law firm when in the first years that we started, we had too many clients. Okay. We had too many people that we're talking to. Our attention was just going in too many different places. And that consultation that you got on the phone may not have been as valuable when you're paying for a consultation and you're sitting down with someone who is listening to you, because they don't have 25 consultations on the books because they're all free. Right. We had so many consultations on the books back in the day. So I think that is what my concern would be more so.
Well, I mean, but it brings me back to where I started, which is I would be concerned dealing with an immigration lawyer who doesn't charge a consultation fee, because that to me is a red flag that they are just trying to get as many people on the phone, and they'll figure out how they're going to deal with it later. You don't need that. You need somebody who actually knows what they're doing, has the staff to address the case adequately and efficiently, and to communicate with you and take you all the way through it correctly. And I would look for a consultation fee. That's just my non-professional. What is a professional opinion? It's a personal opinion. Okay, we move on.
Okay, we move forward. Where were we? Oh, we answered that question.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, fantastic. We're having a good time. Are you guys having a good time? Should we reintroduce ourselves?
Yeah.
I'm just getting started here. I'm drinking lemon water.
Yeah,
and
somebody on TikTok said they love our vibe, which I love that too.
I mean, we're matching. Look at us. Like, why wouldn't you want to consult with us? Okay. I'm Radlin Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner, and we are the owners of Gardner Mendoza Immigration Law Firm, and we are physically located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the East Coast of the United States, but we represent clients in all 50 states and all over the world. And welcome to our live stream Q&A. So I just wanted to reset the room, as they say, and introduce.
Yeah, and we've got a team of absolute rock stars that work with us.
We only have A employees.
Yeah, we only have A employees. when you do immigration law for 22 years, you build a really, really good, solid A team. We have
the A team.
All right.
Okay, Randall. Randall says his question was, can a permanent resident get on a cruise ship? And I'm going to say, hey, really depends on where you're going and whether the country that you're going to requires a visa from your country. Randall, call me. You have my number. I'm so happy that you're here on our live stream, though. All right.
Okay, so here's a question. Should I add a dependent on my N-400 if they're born the day I can hand it in? The day I can hand it in. Born the day I can hand it in.
Sure. Yeah. If you have a child when you file. What's the question?
Should I add a dependent on my N400 if they are born the day I can hand it in?
Okay, so let's say you file your N400 tomorrow, okay? And your baby's due date is 3 months from now because you know the baby's going to be born while this application is pending. No, do not put the baby on the application. If you have the baby in your hands, right? It's your baby has been born, then yes, put the baby on the application. Does that make sense? I think we answered the question.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're kind of looking into the future, like, oh, this mail is going to get here 2 days from now, and the baby's coming because the baby's due tomorrow, don't put the baby on the application.
And Corey 2979 said, I recently got my marriage green card and I used an immigration attorney.
Best decision ever.
Okay. Not our client, but used an immigration lawyer. Best decision ever. Corey, I'm really happy. I'm glad it all went smoothly and worked out great for you.
Write a good review.
Write a good review for your immigration attorney, whoever they were. All right.
Okay. So let's see here. Don Bullets Thompson. What a cool name. Okay. My father petitioned. Oh, this is a bit of a fact pattern here. My father petitioned my brother as single back in 2009. My brother got married. The petition was released and approved last February 2019, but we still started the paperwork after submission of all the paperwork. NVC said it was directed to U.S. immigration, and up to now, we haven't heard anything. So the question here that I'm reading in between here, Don Bullets, is the question is, hey, my dad filed for my brother and he was single. So I'm assuming dad was a lawful permanent resident. Okay. When he got married, is that petition still fine? Can we still use the petition? My dad is a lawful permanent resident. Brother is now married. Answer is no. A lawful permanent resident cannot petition for a married child. I'm sorry to say that. If the scenario is dad petitioned, he was a lawful permanent resident, and brother was single, and then before brother got married, dad filed for U.S. citizenship and became a U.S. citizen. Afterwards, brother got married. Can we still use this prior date? Answer is yes, because. Do I need to explain this?
No, I think.
All right. Sorry, I got tired there because with the law school like question, really good question. If you need any further help with that, Don, let us know. We have actually saved some petitions under this absolute fact pattern that I mentioned, not your particular fact pattern. So we got to figure it out.
That's a detailed fact pattern, and it's very difficult for any lawyer to crunch that many facts and analyze it on the spot like that. And obviously, when you come in and we, take more time to really, really unpack it. All right. But yeah, you answered it anyway. Good job.
You want to grab a question there?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I saw down there, I just wanted to get to that one because I saw that Vaughn Works wants to know if we are, he says, when you're in the Philippines this fall, are you going to have a public seminar or Q&A? Yes, we are. For those of you who know, we are going to be in the Philippines this fall, and we are going to be doing some meetings for Q&As and some seminars, and the details on all of that we'll be getting that out hopefully pretty soon. But yes, we are. And if you didn't know,
now you know. Okay, yeah.
And for those of you who get that reference, you get it.
Yeah. And
but thanks, Vaughn, for asking. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Also want to let you guys know, for those of you all who have been waiting for an interview to be scheduled for your family member for an immigrant visa, We are meeting with we're partnering up with some other attorneys to look into filing a class action lawsuit. So if you all want more information about this, in the comments, just write class action, and we will make sure that we send you the information. You can also shoot that to us through Messenger. So that's in the works, and I promise we will absolutely let you know. And another quick announcement, here in the Hampton Roads area, which is where our office is, we are going to have a blowout Citizenship Day in person on September 17th,
Yes.
2022, which is Constitution Day.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. We're planning it. It's going to be great. It's going to be big. And for you all who are in the area, or maybe if you're not, come by, come say hello. There's going to be stuff, not just citizenship stuff, but information. We're trying to have local businesses sponsor food trucks. We really want to make it a very celebratory type situation, because it is. People applying for citizenship is very,
and a lot of volunteers, helping
Yeah.
helping them with those citizenship applications.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, there's a question here. My father-in-law, and I'm going to add a little bit. It says, my father-in-law didn't renew his resident alien. He'd been living in Mexico. Can he get them back? I think they're wondering, like, was a permanent resident, but then went to Mexico and has been there for a very long time. Can you reclaim that?
Possibly. Depends on how long it's been. It depends on ties to the United States. It depends on whether he was working in Mexico. It depends on a lot of things. So absolutely reach out to us. As we mentioned earlier, if you weren't here, we do represent people from all over the world, really, and definitely in all 50 states. So reach out to us. It's 757-464-9224. Please do not fall for any scams on my TikTok page, because if I'm answering your question, it's going to say creator. Okay. A lot of people are stealing the identity and putting in a WhatsApp or a Telegram or some other number that's not mine. And then people are calling and almost getting scammed. So be careful with that. But our number to call is 757-464-9224. You can call or text, and our team will be reaching out to you.
Yeah. And also, you said he's in Mexico. We have several fluent Spanish speakers in our office. And so if Spanish is your first language or your only language, or even your just preferred language, not a problem. We got you covered.
Yes.
All right.
I don't have any more questions over here. So if you want to.
Okay. How about Teen Goin wants to know, what is the wait time now for a green card interview if the spouse is a U.S. citizen? I know that's vague.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about adjustment of status? If we are, you got to look at USCIS processing times in the field office. We're talking about the different embassies all around the world. It's tough to say. It's really, really hard to say.
All right. And here's a version of a question that we get every couple of weeks. LPR here. I married my husband via Utah online. Can I file for F2A? We did not meet yet. This is this question about the.
Yeah. So I have never had to use this, but my understanding is this is not really a proxy marriage, it's a marriage online. But anyhow, my understanding is that you have to consummate the marriage in order for immigration service to recognize it. So I would definitely be careful with just filing with the online marriage. Feel free to reach out, and we can flesh that out.
All right. And we had a question here. Is this a Filipino page? We do have a lot of people that join us who are Filipino, but it's not exclusively a Filipino page. No.
No, not a Filipino page. I just happen to be Filipino. In fact,
and a lot of the questions are from the Philippines or involving the Philippines, but no.
Yeah, our law firm started out in 2000 representing I would say the majority of our clients were Latino.
Yeah, no question about it.
And I can't even actually pinpoint where our clients come from. Like, there's no one country. We represent such a wide range of people. I couldn't tell you, we have the most clients from the Philippines. That's not true. That is not true.
We had mostly, you're right. In the beginning, it was not that way, but now we have a very diverse group of clients from all over the world, without any one region or country really being way out in front of any of the others. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry, I've got some.
Okay. Cherry has a really great question. And wherever you are, Cherry, that looks beautiful. Please let us know where you are. Hi, green card holder here, but offered some jobs in Italy. Can I? I will pay my taxes. What to do? Thanks a lot. Oh, I can't tell you what to do. But what I can tell you is that a green card holder, a lawful permanent resident, if they are outside of the United States for more than 6 months at a time, and certainly for more than a year, then there is a possibility that, whether you have abandoned your green card status, it will come into question when you return back in. So you are getting admitted right back in. And are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? Every time you come back into the United States, that question is posed. And so if you go to Italy and you work for you go to Italy for 5 months, and then you come back to the United States for 2 weeks, and then you go back to Italy for another 4 months, and then you come back, and you're going back and forth, so you don't stay over the 6 months, that's going to get called into question, right? Are you actually a resident of the United States, or are you a resident of Italy? And so I would be very careful. One of the questions I asked is, where do you work? Like, like I said, if dad was working in Mexico, there's an abandonment issue. If you're working in Italy, there's a potential abandonment issue. So I would be very, very careful with that. Yeah.
All right. That's another pretty picture there as well.
Yes.
And I see that Marilu says, God bless you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So Liz says, have you had any experience with K-1 applications going through the Bahamas? I have not. Probably Dom and Sarah have, though. I have seen that. But if you have a specific question, I'd be happy to ask. Answer if I can.
And Dom and Sarah, for those of you who don't know, are
that's right.
2 associate attorneys that are in our office. Immigration attorneys, of course.
Somebody's in trouble. It's Ray. It is 9:01.
Okay, so
we end at 9 p.m. and our 11-year-old
timekeeper looks like fell asleep on the job.
She fell asleep on the job.
We count on her to let us know
when it's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
Right. So we are past the time. Do you want to grab another question?
Yeah, there's just one here, and I'm just gonna, since we're out of time, Afu, I'm gonna just ask you to rewatch this on Facebook, because this question again. I'm a green card holder, but I have a sister 13 years old and my mom in another country. Can I apply for them? And you talked about a lot at the beginning about who green card holders can petition for and not petition for.
Absolutely. Great. All right, guys. It's been...
So find on Facebook. This will be there. It'll be posted, and then you can watch the whole thing. And this is addressed, okay? And Tisha says $275 is so worth it. Thank you, Tisha.
Thank you.
Right.
It is so worth it. It is so worth it.
And Jules says, check the Visa Bulletin. $275 is not expensive. It's standard. Well, I'm happy to be getting some positive feedback on our proposition that $275 is a completely reasonable investment to...
We should double it to make it unreasonable.
Okay. Well, I'm John
kidding.
Gardner, and this is...
Okay, we shall be back next week. Loved answering questions. If y'all need any additional help, please please, please, please reach out to us or a great immigration attorney near you. But we would love to help you. We serve our clients through Zoom. We are completely capable of assisting people all around the world, as we have been since 2000.
And Fernando says, thank you. I'll make an appointment. Awesome. Look forward to talking to you, Fernando. Living south, and my lawyer was in Maryland. Best investment I ever made. This goes on.
I love this. Okay. I love this. Right.
Yeah,
all right.
But we're out of time. You're like, oh wait, I thought you were out of time. But
not yeah. When it's talking about how great immigration really lawyers are. We're never out of time for that.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs up, guys.
We'll see you next time, right?
All righty.
You got questions? We got answers.
All right. Bye-bye.